Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to Tundorf Farms. This is on the Patreon server, and if you'd like to support me on Patreon, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner. It's a little card, click on there. Today I'm joined by Norm. He's right here, as you can see. Hello Norm. And Spud is over there, and we're going to do a bit of a corn harvest. Hello Spud, what's up buddy? So we're going to do a little corn harvest here. We have field number 11, which is right in front of us right here. And it's a cornfield, as you can see. It looks like it's ready. I was led to believe it was ready. Let's check to see if it's actually ready. Was I lied to? Oh, no, we're good to go. We're good to go. Just wasn't sure here. Alright, let's go ahead and unfold and get ready to start harvesting. The funny thing I always have to forget about, or have to forget about it, the funny thing that I always forget about, that makes a lot more sense, is the fact that because I have, I'm just going to do a straight little pass here. Turn that down a smidgen. Because I have the their drive control module. Oh my goodness! Because I have the drive control module off, we don't have it on the server at all. I can just drive all over the crop without destroying it, which always throws me off. Because I'm so used to not trying to like avoid driving on the crop all the time. So it's funny when we actually have this scenario. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to break up this field a little bit because you kind of have like this little weird area over on the left hand side over here, and then the right hand side you have a nice little open area here. So we're going to just cut this field in half for the time being and take it out. We still have these random lines in the field that just don't grow. You'll see it in a second once we actually once we actually harvest part of this field. You'll see it's like a grid pattern. It's really strange. I don't know why it does this. So anyways, the map is producing. Well, it is producing, and it's going along nicely as well. Progressing is the word I want to use. It's progressing nicely, and we have quite a bit of equipment actually now. We've been able to constantly increase the equipment that we have due to the BGA extension actually, because that mod is just nuts. The amount of material you actually get from that thing is just crazy. You don't realize it. Or I should say the amount of money, not material. Well, you do get a lot of material too. It's the biogas residue is what you get from it. So let's just take a little strip at the end here so we can maneuver a little bit better. It's pretty crazy though. Like the amount of material you get from the BGA extension is just nuts. You get a ton of money from it. There we go. Put the pipe out. Put the beacons on. I don't know. Maybe they'll figure it out in a second. I don't know. But that's supposed to be universal. Okay, it needs to be unloaded now, but we'll see. I should be able to make make it to the end, but we'll see what happens here. So yeah, we have quite a bit of equipment on the server now. The BGA extension has been producing a lot. We spread slurry on the field last time. And we did it with a field edge container. It was pretty cool to actually see it all working together. Took a little bit of time though, so it'll be kind of curious to see if we do that again. We probably will, but we'll have to find some sort of middle of the ground type solution, because we're not going to do slurry every single time because it just takes forever. Spraying the field NPK takes a lot less time, but the amount of nutrients you get from spraying just nitrogen are, I should say, the amount of material you get from spraying slurry as opposed to, oh there we go, spraying slurry as opposed to just NPK or NPK is quite a bit more. I think slurry you get like 5, something like that, something in that area. So if you look at our soil pH, which is a little bit high, or a little bit low I should say actually, 5.8, so our yield's going to be affected by that. I think we get about 80% yield, I think it is roughly, something like that. Spud's just spreading out the corn in the trailer there. It's funny because I don't know why the corn is green on this as opposed to yellow. Usually it's yellow on most maps, but maybe it's not in this one. I don't know. Very nice. Cool. So what will happen is I'll probably be able to get around the edge of the field here, this little section right here, and then we'll go from there. Turn the combine back on. There we go. Put the pipe in. So it's actually been pretty cool. Actually, we've been able to get done on this map. with like 4 or 5 different guys on the same time. Like, what was it? The other day we had, who did we have? I think we had like 4 people on. There was, what am I hitting? Oh, it's a fence, I guess. We had Norm, we had Spud, we had Donald on. Mike's internet's been down for a while now. It's been crazy. But it's been a good time. Every time we get on the server, it's a lot of fun actually. So, and with TeamSpeak as well, it adds a little bit of extra fun to it. Oh, that's something I can't actually harvest. Strange. Adds a little bit of extra fun, so because you get a chit chat, talk about things. The other day we were talking about jobs and whatnot, because it's one of those interesting things. Because like, people, like in the comments and stuff like that, but you don't really know them in real life in the same way. So it's like whether or not they would actually say that in game versus, or whether they would say that in the comments versus like when you're talking to them on TeamSpeak, it's 2 different things. So it's kind of interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot we had potatoes over here. Oh yes. I forget whose doing this was. I want to say it was, I think it was Spud and Donald decided to do this. I totally forgot that was like partially potatoes there. I think those are actually ready to be harvested too. It looks like they are actually. And we actually got the potato harvester. We actually do have a potato harvester now. Let me just show you what we got here. We actually got quite a few different random assortment of things. We got the Chrome Big M, or Big X, sorry. We've had that. We have a potato harvester now. We have the semi-trailer. We have the dolly. We have the bigger cultivator, potato planter, bigger seeders. We have the bigger forage wagon now as well, the bigger tedder. What else do we have? That's the field edge container I was talking about before. We have a telehandle, wherever that went off to. And now we have cows, sheep, and chickens. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. That's what happens when you're in the menu screen. And as you can see, we do have a new tractor as well. Norm is driving the T8 435, I think it is. So that's the reason why. Well, I picked that one up because we needed it for some of the bigger equipment. So we have that. It's so strange when you get used to playing with mods so often that you find out like there's some little things that are missing. Like earlier on, like I was just looking for a mod that would allow me to put wool pallets on a trailer, and I was trying to figure out, I'm like, where exactly is it? Because they have the bale trailer in game, but I'm like, will that work for wool pallets? Because like I just would not normally use it, right? So it always throws me off when you have to think about that kind of stuff. Because normally you just use a mod for that, and you know which mod would work. But when you're on the server and you don't have all the mod selection you normally would, it's kind of strange because you get used to having all of those that selection when you play. But when you play on the server, we can't have infinite mods in the server because the server is just not that big. But so you have to, well, but you do have to be a bit more selective in this context. So I imagine actually a lot of farmers right now in Ontario are probably considering planting corn soon. It's the end of April. It's actually May 1st today, the day of recording this. So it's quite possible that they are out there, or at least thinking about planting corn right now, because this is usually the time when people start thinking about planting corn, if they haven't already planted it. As far as I know, when you plant corn in real life, it's actually the earlier the better. So I imagine that they are kind of in that realm. The earlier the better. So if you can get corn out as fast as possible, might as well do it. You know what I could do actually? I don't know if we have enough space for that. We could set up the potato harvester too, just so Spud's got something to do as well. Did he? Looks like he just tabbed out of that trailer. No, he didn't. It looked like he tabbed out of that tractor for a second there, because like I think he did actually. Did he? Or is he just chilling out there? I think he's just chilling out there. It looks so funny because like he was like driving through the field and then his name just disappeared. So I'm like, did he just disappear or what? That's too funny. So we do have 70 cows now as well. Going to spray Spuds with water first. Okay. So we do have 70 cows now, and it's pretty nice to have that number of cows. because of course you get the amount of money from them. You get a certain amount of money every night from when you sell the milk, right? So that's the nice thing about that. So this is that grid pattern I was talking about. You can actually see it. So like, see how it goes straight down here, and then it goes horizontally. Again, not 100% sure why that is. On the regular map, when I played in this without that particular, or not on the server, I didn't have that problem at all. So it's curious to see why that's on the server, but not in the single player game. So I don't know what the deal is there. I would honestly have to look it up. Maybe David Oldfield would know. Well, he's a pretty smart guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. Maybe Craft Farms would know too, actually. I know Craft Farm is actually working on he's working on his map, which I believe is supposed to be his Papa's map, if memory serves, which is super cool. I hope he releases it publicly, but I'm not sure if he's going to or not. So if he does, I'll definitely take a look at it. There's actually been quite a few people who have suggested a few different maps for one of the live streams. Last map that was suggested, I saw in the comments, was Mayenburg, I think it was, which is a map that's been around for quite a long time now. So it'll be kind of curious to see how many suggestions we end up getting, because there's always a new map that's coming out that we should check out and whatnot. So Mayenburg is definitely on the list. There's a few other ones I haven't checked out yet. I think there's a new southern Norway that just came out that Multi-Mikey123 was talking about. So 1 second, water break. I've already had too much coffee, so that's the reason why I'm drinking water now. And I don't need tea, so water's really my choice. Drink of choice, really. So if I could drink water all the time and it would soothe my throat and all that jazz, I would drink water all the time. But it doesn't work that way for me, so. Alright, let's back up here a little bit. There we go. Perfect. I've actually done a pretty good job here. I thought I was going to take more time on this little side over here because, of course, I didn't realize. As you can see, I'm pointing at the screen, and you can obviously see that, right? Over there are potatoes, and I totally forgot we had potatoes in there. Like I said, I think that was Spud's idea. Donald and Spud were on the server, and I think they were considering, like, well, should we put potatoes in the whole thing? Actually, there's a funny problem we ran into, and I'll show you what it is in a second here. There was a funny problem we ran into on the server in terms of the potatoes. It's actually, what happened was, the potato planter, the normal in-game potato planter, is actually too big for the entrance for the potatoes up here on this main farm. So what happened was they tried to plant potatoes on this field, but it didn't work very well because they just didn't have the space to move the planter in there. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna turn the combine around. It's gonna hop out and show you guys what I'm talking about in a second here. There we go. Alright, I'm going to show you guys what it is in a second. So what was happening was, they were trying to plant that field over there with potatoes. Oh, we've got silage there still? I should get that out of there. So they were trying to plant that field with potatoes, and they couldn't get the planter actually in the entrance, because I guess the planter is just too big to get seeds from right here. So there was a picture, I think, somewhere on the Google Plus community or somewhere else, and they just couldn't. They got stuck right in the entrance here. So what ended up happening is, I don't think we have any trail. Oh, we do have one here. Okay, sweet. So what ended up happening was we decided to move, or not move, but decided to look for another seed area where you can fill up seeds. And we found out there's actually an area back here, as you can see right here. Here's where the potato planter is, and this gate right here is big enough for that potato planter. So what happened was, after they discovered that, they decided to plant potatoes on the field right over here, which we actually bought. I don't remember if I actually told you guys that or not, but we picked up this field 22 down here, and now this is in potatoes, and we have a lot of potatoes now, apparently. A lot more than I expected. As you can see, there we go. There's the potatoes right there, and they're all good to go. Did he make it all the way there and back? No, apparently not. So I don't know if Norm was hopping in there or not. There we go. Put the pipe out there. Yeah, so that's what ended up happening. They were going to put potatoes all in this field, but the potato planter just didn't work so well. And Donald was actually saying on Twitter that it took him like 22 refills or something like that to do that field. It's ridiculous. I was trying to convince him that he should just hire a worker for that kind of stuff, but he's a hard worker. Alright, so I think what we could do is we could actually spread slurry on this field, because Norm, actually, it was funny. Norm was on the server the other day. It was later at night. I was going to record, but it was late at night, and I'm not really good when it comes to late at night recording because I just get tired. Anyways, so Norm was on the server, and Spud was on the server, and we were, doing a couple of various tasks on the farm, and what Norm ended up doing was he ended up transporting slurry back and forth from the BGA, because at the BGA we had, like, I don't know, 600,000 liters of slurry that needed to be used. So what happened was he transported some of it to the slurry lagoon that we have on the main farm, so we can actually use it. I don't know how many liters it actually was in the end, but it was, I want to say it was something in the area of 300,000 liters, something like that. So, but that's one of the nice things about this map. This map does have those slurry lagoons, so if you are using the BGA extension, or if you're using the BGA in general, having those slurry lagoons is really nice because you can just put the slurry there. And technically, I guess we could use the slurry from the cows. I don't know how much slurry the cows are producing, though. 80, that's not very much, honestly. And as you can see, as I mentioned, we have 70 cows. We have 101 chickens now. We have eggs that we should pick up soon. I don't know what the maximum number of eggs is. I think it's 50. Anyways, and we also have sheep. So the other thing we did was we picked up a telehandle, like I mentioned before, and I put the telehandle, I'll just pop over there real quick. So the telehandle is right over here with the sheep, and they have a little sheep pallet machine here, which is really nice. That really makes a big difference, especially when you have a lot of sheep. We only have 50, but I might actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might actually increase the number of sheep we have. One of the things we were talking about doing was on field number 5 is turning that into a big old grass field, so we can use it for chaff if we need to, or grass for the cows or sheep. So one or the other, basically. But that was one of the plans that was talked about. But we definitely need to put the lime on this field, because 5.9 is a little on the low side. And if I don't put lime on the field, our yield's gonna go down a lot more. Moisture's okay. Actually, that's a pretty good yield. We got for nutrients for N, we got X6, which is pretty good, and then X5 for PK, which is actually pretty good. So we'll see what happens. Moisture level's a bit low and pH is a bit low, so that's a couple of things we'll have to deal with next harvest. I don't know. Whoops. I don't know if Norm is going to, if he's up for the task to try and follow along. Looks like he is. He's got the more powerful tractor. That tractor's got, I think it's like 434 horsepower, or 35 horsepower, something like that, so it's not a big problem. But doing the headland in this field is always a bit interesting, because what happens is you're like, depending on where you stick the auger out on off the combine, it can be either like, okay, amazing, or like terrible. So this little section is okay, not too bad. But something there is like in the north side of the field there, where the ditch is, that area is really bad. Because as soon as you put it there, you're kind of in a situation where you're like I don't know how to describe it. You're like 45-degree angle is kind of what it would be. And in real life, you would never. I don't think. Not with the water being so close there. That just seems like it's a bad idea. Recipe for disaster is the expression that's coming to my mind right now. Have you heard that expression? Leave me a comment below with saying recipe if you have heard that one before. It depends if you're English or not. Like, I mean English as your, mother tongue is is what people would say for that one. Because I teach a lot of French people, so every time I ask questions like, I'm like, oh, you ever heard that expression? I always have to double check because I'm not sure whether people have heard the expression or not. In a lot of cases, depending on their level, like if they're a higher level, they will know the expressions normally. But if they're a low level, like are in the middle somewhere, they may or may not know the actual level itself. So it really depends on the person. So perfect. So what I'm going to do is going to check on that slurry again. I'll show you what I was talking about, what Norm got up to the other day. Donald and him were joking that apparently he ruined the tractor and now it smells terrible. No. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Anyhow, I went fishing the other day, or at least tried to. It's still kind of early from what I understand, so I was fishing for catfish. This is the first time I've ever tried to target catfish before. Which has been really interesting actually, because I just wasn't really sure what to do. I was like, well, it's not true. I've done some research, and this is the weird thing, because like the way you do research, like a lot of times the way you do research for fishing is just trying something out, honestly, and just seeing if it works. So I heard about one guy trying bacon to catch catfish with. Have you guys ever heard that before? Bacon for catfish, and apparently he was slaying them. Never heard it before. I've heard people use soap before, which is also really odd. I don't think I would use soap, because soap, I don't know how organic that would be, like in terms of being in the I don't know how good that would be for the actual river or lake system itself. That's why I was kind of hesitant about it, because, you know, of course, if you use stuff like that, you have to consider it. If it goes in, it's got to come out too, sort of idea somewhere. So let me just show you. Oop, don't want to get hit by Norm there. Whoa, easy, buddy. Flash him a little. You know what's funny? If I do this, you can't see that. That's what I would do with my high beams if I was in a car. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Anyways, this is what Norm got up to the other day. He filled this, or I don't know. It doesn't say how much he filled it. But I know he put quite a bit of slurry in here, so it's kind of neat that you can actually fill it up with slurry. I don't know. Can we grab a tractor? No, we got the dolly over there. Can't. But he filled it up, so it's pretty neat. All right. Let's get this guy fired up here. And I think we'll do at least one more pass. Or one more headland, I should say. There we go. So yeah, Norm did that the other day. It was pretty funny, because I was like, as he was doing it, I'm like, you know, Norm, you can stop whenever you want to, man. Like, I know, the funny thing is, he was using the Coat Universal trailer, and that thing only holds 30,000 liters. So it can take quite a while for that to work out well, so anyhow. Because, like, when you're transporting, I don't know, like 600,000 liters, it just takes a bit of time. So. But the dairy cows are doing well, which I'm happy about. Thought I saw something in the sky there. But the whole server is actually working out really well. So it's a new month, and there may be a couple new people joining. We'll see. It all depends on whether they have the time to join or not. That's usually what it comes down to. So, like I said in one of the previous videos, I'm going on my honeymoon in May, so I'll still have videos for you guys going. What I might do is I might throw some vlogs in there of my travels out west, in Western Canada. And what I'll do, I think that's what I'll do for a couple days. But I think what I've done so far is I did a new game for every Friday, and I did a new game for every Tuesday. Now you let me know whether you want to see more of that game or not. I've mentioned that in the videos a couple times, so it's up to you guys. But we'll see. It's definitely not going to be for everybody, I know that, and that's fun. So, anyways, folks, I think it's a good time to end the episode right there. Finish that last little pass. That'll be it for me for today, folks. My name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Farming Simulator 2015 on the multiplayer server, once again with Norm and Spud. Spud's just spraying the spuds. Get it? That's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sure they would tell me don't quit my day job. Anyways, my name's Iain Robson. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys later.